Well, frickin' finally we get more episodes of Steven Universe, and yay! Finally more Steven Universe episodes. And I gotta say, right out the gate, I guess you could call this episode the unofficial Thanksgiving special, because even though it doesn't say it at all, this is totally feels like a Thanksgiving Day special, because it's talking about family, and there's a great feast and all that. Yeah, so I'm calling it the Steven Universe unofficial Thanksgiving Day special. That is what it is to me. Also, if you've noticed by the fan art, we get to see some Lapidoting hardcore in here, because Perry and Lapis actually kind of get a kid. I love at the beginning of this episode, it kind of plays out how a same-sex couple tries to get try to have a kid of their own. And it's adorable because now they have a little pumpkin, which is now bound to get even more fan art than it already had. I also... yeah. So let's talk about the main part of this episode. We all thought this would be what Peridot said about Gem Harvest, where she looked at all the gems and said, "You're going to harvest me?" No, what it's really about is Steven discovering he has family on his father's side. It's not just, his dad and the gems that are his family. He has technically a first cousin, but yeah, he has a uncle. He has an Uncle Andy, who, by the way, for all the fellow Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode fans, yeah, it's Carl. I literally, when I first heard his voice, I was like, wait a minute, is that? Oh my god, it is. And it's hysterical because every time Andy spoke, all I could hear was Carl. Everything about that character was even Carl. It was a more refrained Carl and a more friendlier one. The whole time, when he was trying to figure out who Steven's mother was, I love the moment where he goes, I always heard, in my head from the Halloween special, "Who's this, your frickin' mother?" I can't do Carl. It's also kind of funny because the voice actor for Greg played a monster called Willie Nelson in a Halloween episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So I can't wait for all the episodes, all of Andy, this entire episode with Andy and whatever episodes he does appear in later on, to have, basically have his lines dubbed over by stuff Carl has said from Aqua Teen. But yeah, I was just, as the Aqua Teen Hunger Force fan that I am, I was like, Carl! Yeah. And I'm just, in my head canon now, Andy just lives in New Jersey. That's my head canon. No one's gonna take that away from me. Anyway. So, yeah, the episode was actually more lighthearted and more like one big 30-minute slice of life story, really. Yeah, it was. I'm not really let down at all. Even we were all expecting, oh, it's a 30-minute special, and we're going to find out what Peridot meant by harvesting. No, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because this was a great episode on its own. Because yeah, even Steven says it. All I ever knew was my dad and the gems. I'm half human, and now I have a whole other line of family that I can learn about. It's kind of like that episode of Legend of Korra. It's actually kind of funny because I watched this episode today. That Legend of Korra episode from Season 3, where Mako and Bolin discover they have a whole line of family they didn't even know about living in Ba Sing Se. So it's very much like that now Steven can, learn from Andy and his dad about all the other people, his Aunt Deb, or Great Aunt Deb, technically, and all the other family members that he knew. It's also possible that maybe he can meet his grandparents, We also discover that Greg's real last name is DeMeo. And I heard of that, and I was like, yeah, I can see why you turned that to Steven. I can totally buy why you totally changed that to Steven. I mean, excuse me, I can totally understand why you turned that to Universe. I can totally buy that. But yeah, it does leave open that maybe Greg, because Andy is his cousin. And this does leave open the door that maybe Steven can meet his grandparents, his biological grandparents, Greg's parents. I'm kind of hoping that's the next step. But yeah, this episode also, it almost turned into an episode with, a guy who's totally it was going to be another version of the Peridot episode with her and Pearl. But no, it didn't turn that into that at all. It was just, he's more angry at himself than he is at any of the gems. He's more he hates more of himself than anyone else. It's more along the lines of all he wanted to do was keep everyone together, and in the end, everything just kind of slipped away from him in the end. So that is rather tragic when you think about it. That is rather sad. So I very much enjoyed this episode. I think also this other moment, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who thought this, but there's a moment where Pearl Pearl and the rest of and the gems except for Amethyst go into town. And they literally start, and they're gone for a while, and then they come back, and Pearl says, well, we did the whole lifespan of human race in just a few short minutes. We even got married to each other. And I was like, wait, time out. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who went, wait, time out, just hold on a second, time out. So what you're telling me is, technically speaking, Lapis and Peridot are married now. Because they're all married to each other, and that kind of ropes Peridot and Lapis in there, so you're telling me they're wives now. And I'm pretty sure, the Ode to Joy went off in my head, as well as I'm pretty sure every other Lapidot shipper and PearlNet as well, Garnet and Pearl, and I'm pretty sure, all the shippers just had, Ode to Joy just play off in their head. The moment they heard that, because now, yeah, technically speaking, all of your ships are now married to one another. That's kind of brilliant, actually, because it doesn't matter who you ship out of that little square or rectangle if you separate Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah, they're all kind of married to each other now, legally. I guess Amethyst is the only one who's kind of outside of that relationship now. I don't know, I just kind of noticed that, and I was like, wait, hold up, does that mean what I think it means? Oh my god, it does. Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So, yeah, really enjoyed this episode. Again, it wasn't what I was expecting, but still, I had a lot of fun with it. I think this was a lot of fun, but it's a really good episode regardless, like I said. A lot of fun, and it was great to hear Carl's voice actor. And now I just had a lot of fun with this. So, yeah, you guys tell me. What did you guys think of Gem Harvest? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. And yeah, what do you guys think of what's going to happen with Lapis, Peridot, and their new quote-unquote child? Really interested to see what you guys have to say about this one. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.